Okay, the session is now being recorded. Good afternoon and welcome to our September 10, 2013 Direct Care Ambassador webinar. My name is Indira, and today we're just going to be sharing a couple of updates about the initiative. We don't have a particular topic for the webinar today, so we are just going to share some updates, so it'll be a brief webinar today. Here is the information to join online. And you may also call into the conference line number, which you already know if you're on the line. And just quickly, we have two ambassadors on the line. Would you like to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Hi, I'm Judy Clark from Esterville. I've been at CMA for 30 plus years and now retired and still want to keep up my certificate. And I'm glad to be one of the ambassadors for the initiative.
Wonderful.
And my name is Carol DeGome. I'm one of the local long-term care ombudsmen. I actually have Northeast Iowa.
Okay, welcome. Have either one of you been able to engage anybody into the initiative or talk about the initiative with anybody? Do you have any activity updates to share?
I've been trying to get a place. We've been doing our music in a dinner date in Spirit Lake.
Mm-hmm.
And I was asking some of the folks there that if there's a way to rent that building for whatever it takes to get that maybe. I thought I emailed.
So I'm sorry, I missed. What were you trying to get a venue for?
A place, a room, or a building,
Uh-huh,
and rent it so maybe an hour's time that we can present, talk about the program.
Okay, talk about the initiative.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful. Carol, did you have any updates to share?
Well, only that generally my contact is, would be an occasional one-on-one with a nurse aide, or take the opportunity while I'm, like in a facility or something. Generally it's not in a lot of detail or depth, but just in conversation, finding out what they're aware of and trying to give them some contact info.
Okay, great. So have either one of you had the opportunity to attend any of the recent outreach events?
No, I have not.
No, unfortunately, they're too far away.
Okay. Well, here's a list of the outreach events that we had, and since you can't see them, Carol, I'm going to go ahead and read them off. On August 20th, we had an outreach event in Des Moines. On August 22nd in Mason City, August 29 in Sioux City, September 17 in Dubuque, September 18 Davenport, and September 26 we'll be going to Atlantic. So we've been hitting the road and focusing on three main groups, and those being community and business leaders, the media, and then DCPs, employers, and other direct care stakeholders. So we've been focusing on those three groups with the various outreach events that have been happening in the mornings and in the afternoons at those locations I just mentioned. And this is that flyer that describes the morning events. And those are mainly meant to inform the public, community leaders, or people who may not already be familiar with the initiative. The second flyer is for the afternoon outreach events, and these events are intended for either DCPs or employers or direct stakeholders who may already know about the initiative, but now we're really doing a big push on promoting the curriculum and the training. So we've had a lot of success with these events, and we've had some media coverage, and here is a news link from the Mason City event. And I'll go ahead and pull that up on the screen here. since you can't see this, Carol, I can go ahead and email you the link if you haven't seen it.
Okay.
It's
I've just had computer issues for the last several weeks, and I've been trying to get to Des Moines to get IT to look at it, and I'm delayed off until next week. So I'm still not able to get on go to meetings, and that I apologize.
No, that's not a problem. We can always share information via email, and this PowerPoint and the recording will, of course, be on our wiki site where we post all of our resources. So you will have access to this once you get your computer up and going. But this particular article is from the Globe Gazette, and oops, it's scrolling a little fast here. Are you able to see this on the screen, Judy?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So the title is Group Pushes Training Recognition for Direct Care Providers. And there's a picture here of Becky Johnson, who's also one of our ambassadors. And this article talks about this event, but it also talks about the broad issue, and it says how the Iowa Caregivers Group predicts 20,000 more direct care providers will be needed by 2020 to care for people in their homes as baby boomers age into the healthcare system. And then they mention the turnover rate, and they quote Becky Johnson, and here after the quotes and the additional facts and figures, they also talk about Nikki, who is an individual who talked about her 60-year-old father who suffered a stroke several years ago and receives direct care. And so she talks about how his CNA assists with his personal care and what a big help that is for her. So really nice piece about the outreach that took place in Mason City, and I know we were also featured in a couple of other media pieces. So we've really been focusing on this outreach and promoting the curriculum and the training specifically. And then also trying to get the public at large and public leaders to learn more about this initiative and how it impacts the communities and the whole state of Iowa, actually. Here is some information about classes being offered. So this is referring to the curriculum and training that was developed. So through the end of September, classes will be available at DMAC and Indian Hills in Ottumwa. And to sign up for those classes, you may contact either Jamie Wheelock for Des Moines, and her email is jlwheelock2@dmac.edu, or Lori Reeves, which is lori.reeves@indianhills.edu. And the training is open to any interested DCPs. After September, if you are interested in taking training or becoming a trained instructor, there's a link here. And if you're not able to see the link right now, you'll be able to see it once the PowerPoint is uploaded onto the wiki. But if you just click on this link, that'll give you more information if you're interested in becoming involved with the training after September. And if you have any general questions, as always, you may also contact Erin Drennan at IDPH. Now, the other event that's coming up is the Iowa Caregivers Conference. It's the annual statewide educational conference for direct care professionals, and it'll take place on Monday, September 23rd and Tuesday, September 24th. It'll take place at the Meadows Events and Conference Center in Altoona, Iowa. There's a link here to go to the Iowa Caregivers website where you're able to view more information about the event. Now, there's been some question about ambassadors who would like to volunteer and staff the DCWI booth at this conference. So just to clarify a couple of things about this conference. One of the things is that if you are already planning on attending the conference, either as a member of Iowa Caregivers or as a part of your job, you get to attend this conference, and you would like to staff the booth, we would provide a stipend for staffing the booth. However, we would not provide for the mileage or for hotel room costs or for the conference registration costs. because you would have been attending the conference anyway. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So now if you were not going to attend the conference, but if you would like to help and staff that booth, then we would look into providing additional things in addition to the stipend. So here is a layout of what the times look like for the time slots when we need people to staff the booth. And so again, this would be the Direct Care Workforce Initiative booth that we would be staffing during the Iowa Caregivers Conference. And there are various times and shifts available both on Monday, September 23rd and Tuesday, September 24th. So please contact me if you are an ambassador and if you are interested in helping us staff the booth. And there are some individuals who have already signed up to help out at the conference, but it might not be related to the Direct Care Workforce Initiative specifically. So if you already signed up to help, and if you also like to help us staff the booth, just make sure that the time that you select to help with the booth doesn't conflict with your time that you were going to help there anyway. So if you have any questions about that, please feel free to either send me an email or give me a call, and we can talk about that. But if you're interested in signing up, please let us know. Okay, and as always, I ask for suggestions on which webinar topics you would like to see in future months, and these topics would be related to your role as an ambassador. So if there are any professional development topics that you can think of that would help you in your ambassador work with the Direct Care Workforce Initiative, specifically as it relates to the direction that we're moving now, which is a focus on informing the public as well as informing DCPs and employers and other direct stakeholders about the training and the curriculum. Let me know if there are any topics that we can provide that we haven't already. Here are the ambassador webinar dates for 2013, and I can't believe we only have 3 more months in this year, but we have a webinar coming up on October 8th, November 12th, and December 10th, and those will all be at 3:30 p.m. So please mark your calendars. Okay. Do you have any questions at this point for either one of you who are on the line?
I don't think so.
No.
No, no questions?
Or to go to the conference
Are you going to that conference, Judy?
on Monday.
On Monday?
Yes.
Is that which conference?
The Iowa Caregivers.
Oh, okay, so you mean that Monday on the 23rd.
Correct.
Okay, wonderful. Carol, do you have plans on going to the conference?
No, but I think there is some representation from the Ombudsman office who is from the Des Moines area that are on the caregiver, direct caregiver meetings, or they attend meetings, and so I'm thinking probably at least that person will be there. I don't know.
Okay, great. So yeah, this is all connected. I'm glad to hear that a lot of people will be there and looking forward to it. So I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording here. Thank you for joining us today on this webinar.